All right, we're going to talk today about exercises for the upper body, for the arms, dry land for swimming. This is Harley, my assistant. She's been super helpful this morning in getting this going. Okay, say bye. No, she wants to snuggle. Of course she does. Okay, so first I'm going to show you guys 6 exercises. These will all be listed in Training Peaks in your account shortly as soon as I get this video posted. So you'll have an idea of the number of reps to do, and then you can use the video to help you understand how to do the exercises. All of these that I'm going to show you today can be done with a band, a stretch band. You can order these on Amazon. You can order them on swimoutlet.com. Kiefer sells them. All the bands will have different colors, which represents different strengths. You need to look on the websites because every band, of course, has their own sort of system. The red band for these is sort of a moderate intermediate resistance. You can get some that are very light and you can get some that are super heavy. I would kind of tend to start with something a little more light or moderate resistance. You really don't need a huge amount of resistance to make these work, and you certainly don't want to hurt your shoulders. For people who are interested in additional exercises for swimming, this is a fabulous book, Swimming Anatomy by Ian McLeod, and has a lot of other strength exercises and shows you pictures of how each exercise relates to swimming. It's a great book if you need additional ideas. With all of these, you can adjust the reps, the tension, or the amount of rest that you're doing between these. I would recommend kind of keeping things moving as you're doing the exercises. That's a good way to add intensity without necessarily needing to add a huge number of reps. And the reps are where you're going to start to kind of get into that injury situation. So there's different ways to make it hard. The first exercise I'm going to show you guys is just a bicep curl with these. Now, if you look during a swim stroke, you've got the bicep curl here. You know, that's this bicep here, which is starting that top part of that stroke there. So it's good to keep those muscles firing. With this band, all I'm doing is sticking it underneath my feet so that it's about even resistance on either side here. Notice that I am locking my core in just like we talked about yesterday. So pretending to crunch those hip bones up to that rib cage a little bit, crunching it in, keeping it nice and solid. I'm not doing these exercises with my core like this, all sloppy. Nice and firm. I have my arms here. Notice my elbows are locked in by my side as I do a bicep curl here. The thing that is moving is my bicep. All the way up, all the way down. All the way up, all the way down. What is not moving during this exercise is my shoulder. This is not what we're looking for, right? It's not a shoulder joint exercise, it's a bicep exercise. So you're locked in, your core is tight, and you're pulling up and pulling down. Pulling up, pulling down. The second exercise is a deltoid raise. This muscle here is your deltoid. Comes down. You can see that little line on your arm. This is the deltoid. Really important in swimming. The deltoid is what helps bring that arm around. Like this. So we're going to keep that little guy going. Again, stepping on my band, making sure it's about even. This may be too much resistance. In fact, that is too much resistance. So I'm just going to start out here. My hands at my side here. And this is the motion. Again, my core is tight. It's a motion from the shoulder joints. So my hands aren't down here. I'm not doing this, trying to be all sloppy and my arm is falling. It's nice and steady. It's the deltoid that's moving. You're here and then you're bringing it up. Here and bringing it up. This does not require a huge amount. So if I'm here with the band, bringing it up, bringing it down, bringing it up, bringing it down. That may be too much weight to start with. You can use a can. Use a canned goods. Get a light band. You don't need a huge amount of weight for that, especially when you start. The third exercise is something that mimics pull-ups. It might make more sense to call them pull downs with the bands. I'm going to show you here how to set up on the door. So what you want to find something that you're not going to pull off the wall, or you're not going to pull the knobs out of the door. So you need something that's pretty sturdy. You're going to put a lot of weight on it. I'm taking my band, folding it in half, taking it to the door here, and putting it around this handle here, and the same thing on that other side. That allows me to give a nice steady platform. So the pull-ups, you guys, if you've ever done an actual pull-up at the gym, you're gonna be on the bar, you have it here, and then it pulls up, and then you go back down. You pull up, and then you go back down. Pull up, go back down. My core is engaged, my back is not sloppy during this. Core is engaged, pulling up nice and slow all the way through that motion. That's the same thing you're gonna do with these bands here. So I've got it here, I'm bent at the waist to get my body in that position. If you have a place to put the bands up high, then you don't need to bend over. But this is an overhead exercise. So the way that I fix that, not having something up high, is to back up. My arms are straight out as I can go. Don't pinch your shoulders, so if they're down a little bit, that's fine. My head is down, and I'm pulling, and then back up. Pulling, and back up. Pulling, and back up. So those are similar to push-ups, but you can do them with a band, or pull-ups, but you can do them with a band in your house. So this is part one. I'm gonna do this video in 2 series because it gets a little bit long. So this was part 1, 3 exercises, bicep curl, deltoid raises, and then the overhead. Part 2 is gonna talk about actually some of the band work that looks a little bit more and imitates the motion of swimming.